And when I think about the PGC brand, such an amazing marketing machine, especially for sort of UK recruitment businesses. And just talk to me a little bit about how you sort of made those recruitment businesses think about expansion into the US.
When I joined PGC, what I will first of all say is it was a brilliant business, but very much a dark horse. And I looked at it and thought, hang on, not only do we need to tell the recruitment and staffing agency what a great business we are and how we can give them a turnkey and scalable contract solution within North America, but actually, I don't want to capture them when they need a payroll provider. I want to capture them, get them excited about the market. And I literally said to my marketing team, which at that point was one person, today it's 5. But at the beginning, I said to Elizabeth, all I want is for any UK recruitment or staffing agency, the CEO, the founder, the FD, anyone in a C-suite who's responsible for making decisions, that when they think USA, they think PGC. Such a simple strategy, and it's all we talk about, and it's what we're famous for. We've had the privilege to speak to so many of those types of people in those positions and support them on their overall expansion journey, that by the time they need a payroll partner, then hopefully we're the obvious choice.
So, creating an entity, why would you do it? When do you do it? And how do you do it? Who's going to be your directors? How are you going to set up? Do you really need that entity? You want to look at what your competitors are doing with market research and the business plan as to whether or not that is actually going to be the best route for you. Key to this is your tax planning. Think about whether or not that entity is going to give you what you need by doing that. And if you create an entity, 9 times out of 10, if that business then fails, you have to then try and bring it back around. Your name's already in that jurisdiction, and that's a lot more trickier to come out of.
Somebody comes to you and says, Lisa, I want to go to the US, the widget I sell is brilliant, Americans are going to love it, make that come alive for people. What would you do?
So my question is, how do you know Americans are going to love it,
good question.
right? Because ultimately that's a very different market. So you might have an amazing brand in your current country, but if you're coming to the US, we speak the same language, but we don't, right? So it's really trying to understand the American market and target and focus, because it's very overwhelming. You've got 51 different countries in one country, basically. So it's who is it you're targeting? What are they looking for? Who are your competitors? And then what's going to be the best way to go about it? So then we can help you actually do that and get a bit of traction first.
So just like you need your own accounting specialists and HR specialists in your originating country, we remove the need for you having to hire those people in the different sectors you expand to, and instead you can use us as a full outsourced service provider. Lots of our clients tend to be investor-backed businesses, and if anybody's in an investor-backed business, you'll know why, because there's an overwhelming pressure to grow really quickly. And while you're doing that, to maximize EBITDA. So rather than hire full-time staff in accounting teams, tax teams, subscribing to a service that we offer is sort of complementary to maximizing EBITDA. But we don't have really any sector specialism. We operate in all verticals. We've helped over 3,000 businesses over the 30 years that we've been trading now.
Business leaders generally, especially entrepreneurial mindsets, tend to be less risk adverse in a lot of ways, which is positive. And I think that this will really amplify the amount they can achieve in a shorter period of time. So I think we'll see more ambitious moves and potentially people looking to move into markets they might not have otherwise done. Because of the common denominator, you mentioned people are talking about language barrier being less of a challenge or cross-cultural context, but also the ability to move at pace. And the technology itself is not as expensive as it used to be. So because that barrier's been brought down, it means the accessibility to move it forward is less of a risk, and therefore you'll see more of it. That does mean the competitive landscape will change and it'll get more competitive faster. But I think that's not really different to any other time.